A TikToker even called her birthday cake, like the 18 million naira birthday cake, an overpriced cake. Today we are going hard on Veekee James' 30th birthday bash in Lagos. A celebrity stylist, a designer, and a gospel singer. She went all out. But like any other event, they don't go without, the critics and reactions from people. We are in for it. A TikToker even called her birthday cake, like the 18 million naira birthday cake, an overpriced cake. Then there was this meme chair trick that got someone saying that it was all satanism, and I'm like, calm down, calm down. The bold red carpet views were mixed. So the question now is, did it deliver or did it flop? Let's dive in. Okay, guys, so first off, let's talk about the legendary 18 million naira cake. I mean, 18 million naira. Now, a particular TikToker wrote that it was grossly overpriced. Now, this particular person is not just a TikToker, the person is a baker. And other people came out to defend and say that no, it was actually worth it, that this is art and not just ordinary dessert. And while I feel like, yeah, they make a lot of sense, I want us to break this down. So, looking at that particular cake, after doing my research, I discovered that the cake would have like multiple tiers. Like, did you see how tall that cake was? So, it's going to have like multiple tiers in for starters, and sculptural elements. Aside the fact that it had like some gold decorations to it, edible gold decorations to it, and then they had like customized fondants. And I'm feeling these things are not cheap. I'm not a baker, but from my research, I feel like they're not cheap. I cannot, append market price to it because I don't want to dive deep into it, right? But I want to say that this is not going to be cheap. So I get it when other people come out to say that it is worth it actually, because if you're going to put in the skill of the person, if we're going to put in the time, we're going to put in all the market runs as well for this person to come up with it and actually spend time creating it, then I feel like it's actually worth it. But as to all of the tools that are required, or if it's 18 million naira is actually worth it, then I feel like every vendor is allowed to charge whatever they feel like they are worth. But let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that at the end of the day, the 18 million naira is too much? Or you are among people that feel like if you have the money, just do it anyways? Let me hear your thoughts. So, guys, this second one is actually very, very funny. And while I feel like it's funny, I feel like it's also, something that we could literally talk about. That's Veekee James' entrance. Now, her entrance, made a lot of people say, wow, this is nice. Like, it caused a lot of wows and the rest, right? But other people said it was satanic. And the reason is the, mermaid theatrics that was, performed at that particular entrance. People were like, for Veekee James, that should not be it. While on TikTok, a lot of people praised it and felt like, yeah, this is creativity at its peak and this is showcasing culture and everything. A lot of people felt like this is, the creativity is top notch, while others were like, no, this is satanic. And I want to ask your thoughts, right? Because I know before you bring in any performer or any entertainers to your event, they would have run you through, okay, this is what we are coming to do at your particular event. I don't know if a lot of people do it, but I'm sure that they should have presented it in a way and say, okay, we are performing this at your event or we are doing this at your event. Then it will be left to you to approve or reject, right? Now, I want to believe that they ran it through by her and she was comfortable with it. Now, whatever anybody thinks is their own business. Everybody's faith and everybody's entitled to their own belief system and their own faith, right? I do not think that anybody should come and impose what they believe or what they feel like is good on another person. And at the same time, people coming outside to preach that they are people of God and they are for God alone, they should be careful with what they put because it can be very, very misleading. While I know a lot of people would see it if another celebrity had done it as normal, some people are not comfortable with the fact that it is Veekee James, a gospel artist and a preacher of God, that did that. Do you get? In her defense, it is culture and it is art and it is creativity, right? but to other people it might not seem that way. So let's be very careful with what we put out there. I'm talking about these criticisms because I believe that criticism can be very good and it can be, bad in a way. But at the end of the day, we are picking on lessons from it. So my lesson to everyone out there planning an event for themselves or whatnot, try as much as possible to do what you preach. Do not go and do one thing and come out with another thing. The world will question it, and you might not be happy because that's like your big event. You might not be happy with what they have to say. But for you not to find yourself in such situation, try as much as possible to run the things you want to put out there before you let it out. Thank you. So, guys, let's play a particular game that I name hot take or not. So, I'm going to throw to you like some reactions that I saw online, and you tell me if it's hot take or not. Let's go. So, guys, the first one here is spending 18 million naira on a birthday cake is a flex, not fully. Let me know if it's hot take or not. The second one is red carpet should be classy and not chaotic. Hmm. I have my own big one. I'm just going to leave it to you. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments. And then the third one is critics calling it satanism is petty hate. What do you think? Some people are not going to be happy about this, but let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Guys, let's talk about critics and planner insight, and this is real talk. I'm going to be starting with the first one. I'm going to target under budget allocation. Now, if we all know that whenever the society hears that someone has spent a huge sum of money on a particular vendor for their events, people will start poking to know if it's worth it or not. So my advice to you is, if you'll be spending a huge amount of money on any of the things you need in your event, please back it up with storytelling. Number one, the decoration should be something to talk about, and like it should be, I'm not saying it should be loud, but it should be loud. I don't know the right word to use. Classy, and that would speak volumes without being too loud. Yeah. So back it up with those stories. Back up the things you paid for. Let people feel the impact. Do you get? I would have them, mentioning them one after the other, but decoration is one thing. There's something like this cake now that we spoke about. If you know you are going to be coming out to tell us that you spent this particular amount on a cake, let it be worth it. If you are going to be using a particular venue, let it be worth it, that people know that this venue, yes, it was worth this amount. Do not come with an exaggerated amount online and expect people to laugh. And funny enough, sometimes these prices are actually real, but if you don't have like a good story to back up, or like visuals, storytelling could be right, or visuals, or what people would see or read about. I'm talking about raw facts. If you don't come up with it, you explain and explain tire. The next one is, knowing your audience. So I see a lot of people plan events and they pay 1 million. I'm exaggerating, but let me use that one. They pay 1 million bloggers and event bloggers, and even some people go as far as not even paying event bloggers. I see a lot of people plan their events, and Tunde Not is saying Tunde Not's event coverage, and I'm like, you people just want to be everywhere. So at the end of the day, you need to know your audience. Are you focused on high profile people, or you just want any Dick and Harry on social media to be in your business? So you have to like calm down to select these things, because I know that they are like legit sophisticated event sites. Like, I mean, that you could literally post your events, and without doing too much or talking too much, people will feel it that, oh, this event was making sense. Just like Kego, I think the only content creator that Kego brought that was well known was, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Siaga, or I don't know, I cannot remember the content creator that they used. Then they had other ones in the East that were not even really, really popular. And at the end of the day, people had something to, people felt like, yeah, their event was making sense. But all those ones that will end up paying different type of people, both event bloggers and events, the ones that are not event bloggers, you're giving a lot of people room to come into your space. So if you're comfortable with having the whole social media people are aware of your events. Be ready for controversial talks, like be ready for controversies, be ready for criticism. And I mean, you if your event is flopped, you get a lot of negative criticism. You cannot escape it. But if you're going to put your event in sophisticated platforms, then not a lot of people have time to go there. So another one here, I know I've chipped it in, is managing controversy. Now I've said this like in my first 2 points, but let me make it very clear. Bold events will eventually attract, a lot of controversies. A lot of people have things to say, reactions would, come up here and there, right? So you should be ready. And for you to be ready, you have to, be very skilled and craft out, narratives that you put out there. This is like related to my first point, because a lot of people will talk. If your event is very bold and loud, trust me, people will talk. So if you want to be able to counter their narrative, is that you keep quiet or you come up with something that is better than theirs and everybody will shut up. Thank you. No, you're welcome. Okay, so let's just run through what we've said so far. Number one, we've talked about your presentation. We've talked about knowing your crowd, and we've talked about being ready for the internet, because they do not forget and they are there for you. Wow, we've really covered a lot, from the 18 million naira legendary cake to all of the controversies. But the bottom line is, any big or bold events can go well without a lot of controversies if you approach them with good strategies and narrative. Trust me, if you do all of these things, your event will go well. Now, if this episode has helped you in any way, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notification bell so that you get informed on when we are coming back here. And I will see you in my next video. Until next time, guys. Bye.